Years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit carsplusguam.com for details. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Coming up on Primetime, Senator Jim Moylan reacts to the governor's response to his request for an emergency session relative to the all-rise payments. Plus, with session set for next month, lawmakers still don't know the governor's plans for the American Rescue Plan funding. And the governor herself responds to the recent audit from the Office of Public Accountability regarding the procurement of quarantine and isolation facilities.
Hafa and good evening. I'm Tyler Matanani. If Governor Lou Leon Guerrero isn't ready to make the all-rise local pandemic assistance payments yet, then Republican senators may try to take matters into their own hands. Nestor Lecanto has more.
The governor has already said no to Senator Jim Moylan's request to call an emergency session so senators can amend the RISE Act law. She said it's not an emergency and can wait until online applications are ready and when final spending guidance is released by the Treasury Department. But Moylan says it is an emergency.
I can't see when it's an emergency, if declaring that it is not an emergency when you're telling people or our residents of Guam that it's first come, first serve. I don't see that we can't consider this an emergency when you're saying there's a cap on the amount of money. And again, I don't see when you can't see this as an emergency, Governor, when we had the PUA ending in 50 or less days.
And the list goes on. Moylan also has a list of proposed amendments that include increasing the payouts to $1,000 for singles and $2,000 for couples, and eliminating the funding cap altogether so that everyone who qualifies gets paid.
It's amazing. It's called the American Rescue Plan, where the federal government is providing these funds, over $600 million, to the people of Guam. And it's supposed to be a rescue plan, not a stressful plan. It's supposed to be rescue. And the folks that are qualified for this due to the pandemic, then this is where the money should go.
But he can't fast track a bill without a special session. If the governor won't do it, he's asking the speaker to. If she doesn't do it, they have a backup plan.
In August, we'll be going into the budget hearing. We will make the move as an amendment to the budget to include these changes that we've introduce it right into the budget. And I believe that I have the support of my colleagues because we want to do the right thing.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Late this afternoon, Speaker Chalahi issued a response to Senator Moylan, stating she has consulted with legal counsel and determined she could not certify an emergency involving danger to public health or safety. However, she has asked Finance Committee Chairman Joe Augustine to fast-track a public hearing on Moylan's bill. She has also written to the governor supporting Moylan's request to remove the application impediments by executive order so that Rev and Tax can implement the RISE program with minimal documentation. It's kind of like flying blind. The lack of a spending plan from the administration heading into next month's budget deliberations is not sitting well with Minority Leader Chris Duenas.
Senator Duenas was reacting to comments from Budget Director Lester Carlson that the plan won't be released until they get final ARP spending guidance from the Treasury, which likely won't come in time.
So we're going to go in and try to fashion a budget that we don't even know what the governor intends to do. And I think that's just a bad way to work with the legislature.
Duenas says there's no reason to wait for Treasury clarification. He says it's clear to him that you can spend ARP money on financially strapped agencies like Customs that lost all of its passenger fee revenue because of the pandemic.
They can't even pay their rent up there. They were told to get to the back of the line in terms of doing their recruitments. They can't even do testing and prepare for the next cycle to come in. Meanwhile, they have retirements, resignations, all these things happening, and their workforce is just dwindling. That is absolutely a perfect expenditure of ARP funds. You cannot tell me she can't drop $10 million into their budget right now.
He says the legislature needs to take a stand if the administration continues to refuse to share details of their spending plan.
If I was the appropriations chair right now, I would consider maybe reducing, the overall general fund by $100 million and say, Governor, where are you going to put this money? Or what agencies are you going to fund? So because this is no longer the budget that you sent to us, because we just don't know what you're going to do. God bless our good friend Lester Carlson. When we come down and we open up in the committee of the whole, and I will give this to the budget chair. He has done what we've asked him to do. He's marked off the whole month of August for the budget.
He says they were also promised advance copies of the budget so they can prepare for what's shaping up to be a protracted month-long deliberation. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
In the wake of a critical audit of the governor's office, procurement of the first round of quarantine and isolation facilities, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero stands by her actions and the actions of her legal counsel.
The quarantine facilities has been procured in a very legal manner.
Don't play that legalese with us.
According to an audit by the Office of Public Accountability looking into last year's procurement of quarantine and isolation hotels, the Office of the Governor, or OOG, didn't maintain a complete record of the procurements and didn't comply with the Guam procurement law and the governor's executive order. The procurement was led by the governor's legal counsel at the time, and according to the report, he had a conflict of interest in that he not only previously worked for the bank the hotel had a mortgage with, he also had an immediate family currently employed with and owns the financial institution. The OPA report did not include a name, and the governor's office, in its response, called it hearsay. As KUAM reported, her legal counsel at the time was Ha Hyun, her son-in-law.
They knew, and they should know, who we were talking about, but enough. Enough!
And enough is exactly how the governor feels, because the Emergency Health Powers Act gives her authority to suspend rules, regulations, and laws that prevent actions necessary to protect the people of Guam.
Additionally, the Supreme Court has affirmed my authority over quarantine facilities. So the reason that I do not agree with the findings is that the OPA has not mentioned that, and if he did, I did not see it, but he has not mentioned those two legal authorities that allowed me to do what I did to protect the lives of our people.
But the OPA did mention the Supreme Court opinion, and he had a different take on the ruling.
Says yes, the governor has emergency powers in there. The Constitution can't take a short break, but only for a while, because the Constitution does not go on sabbatical. And so they're acting like it's gone on sabbatical with procurement, and they really shouldn't be. And so we'd like to get it back on track, and so that we can use this money properly.
In total, the OPA noted $3 million in question costs, and apparently that's not the only potential question cost they're looking at related to emergency procurement.
We have a second audit starting from this one, because at the SES I discovered that they had spent $48 million, or at least that's what was reported, on hotels and accommodations. And so we're going to break that down and do an audit on that, and how all that money was spent, and whether or not you needed to keep 5 different hotels. And so that audit has now started and is ongoing.
DRT announces that tax refund checks will be going out in the mail or are being direct deposited. 1,666 refunds for tax year 2020 and prior will be paid this week. Total income tax refunds paid is approximately $4,742,494, including refunds garnished to repay government debts. These represent payments of error-free returns filed on or before April 9th, 2021. DRT also announced that it processed and transmitted to the Treasurer of Guam additional EIP-3 program payments for release. From April 10th, 2021 through July 15th of this year, DRT processed over 82,482 payments, totaling $215.2 million. Meanwhile, DRT's plan for the payment of thousands of dollars per household in child tax credits is currently under review by the IRS. Billions of dollars have already been paid out in the U.S. mainland. And at a press conference on Monday, Governor Leon Guerrero was asked when the Guam payments would be made. She says maybe by next month, but they're leaning toward a lump sum payment rather than a monthly one.
I think it's like thousands of checks, and to do that monthly is a really great tax on resources. So we're discussing about either giving it lump sum, maybe, or twice a year. So we haven't really made that decision, but certainly the child tax credit is a benefit to the population that the RISE Act also focuses on. And so that's another form of financial assistance to our vulnerable individuals. And
according to the White House website, the American Rescue Plan increased the child tax credit from $2,000 per child to $3,000 for children over the age of 6, and from $2,000 to $3,600 for children under the age of 6. It also raised the age limit from 16 to 17. Families will get the full credit if they make less than $150,000 for a couple or $112,500 for a single parent. It appears Guam was not selected as the temporary relocation site for the evacuation of thousands of Afghan allies and their families as part of the Operation Allies Refuge. State Department spokesperson Ned Price made the announcement this morning that they instead will be heading stateside.
At the President's direction, the Department of State is working to relocate interested and eligible Afghan nationals and their families who have been approved through the Special Immigrant Visa, or SIV program. As the next step in that process, I am pleased to announce that the Department of Defense has agreed, at the request of the Department of State, to allow the use of Fort Lee, Virginia, as the initial relocation site for the pool of applicants who are closest to completing special immigrant processing.
Up to 2,500 eligible Afghan allies and their families are being evacuated as part of the operation. Price says they will be provided temporary housing and services as they complete the SIV process. The evacuation flights will begin at the end of the month. A federal lawsuit was filed against the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for failing to designate 23 endangered species in Guam and the CNMI. Here's the story.
The Center for Biological Diversity is suing the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for failing to designate critical habitats for 14 species of plants and 9 species of animals in Guam, Saipan, Tinian, Palau, and the FSM, which they say is a direct violation of the Endangered Species Act. Hawaii Director and Staff Attorney for Center for Biological says, quote, "We can't stop the extinction crisis if wildlife officials ignore the law and abandon the places where imperiled species live. Militarization, invasive species, climate change, and urban sprawl have taken an enormous toll. Since government officials won't take action, we're asking the court to force them to." The issue dates back to 2015 when the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service listed 23 plants and animal species in the U.S. Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands and Guam. The list includes tiny sac-winged bats, bright orange and yellow tree snails, beautiful 8-spotted butterflies, and brilliant blue damselflies. The Blue Ocean Law Group is also representing the Center for Biological Diversity. According to attorney Julian Uggan, we need to get serious about protecting our endangered and threatened species. He adds the first step is to designate critical habitat. The second is to stop giving the military a free pass. We're suing Fish and Wildlife to remind them they must do both. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
The island recorded its 143rd COVID-19 related fatality. According to the Joint Information Center, a 75-year-old woman with underlying health conditions passed away at the Guam Regional Medical City at approximately 9:11 p.m. on Sunday, July 18th. The woman was vaccinated and tested positive on July 7th. For Operation Liberate Guam, as of this morning, the island was 1,800 shots short of achieving adult herd immunity by July 21st. To date, a total of 78.49% of adults have been fully immunized. The governor, during a press conference Monday afternoon, urged the more than 4,000 people who have not yet received their second dose of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine to complete the two-dose series. For those who have not been vaccinated at all, she encourages these individuals to get the one-dose series of Johnson & Johnson. If the island achieves adult herd immunity by Liberation Day, the governor says she will restore the island to PCOR 4. Rev and Tax Deputy Director Frank Leon Guerrero may be on the way out of DRT. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero confirming Leon Guerrero is under consideration to be the new head of the Mariana Regional Fusion Center. Leon Guerrero would replace former MRFC head Jesse Mendiola. Mendiola was recently hired as the Deputy Port Police Chief at the Port Authority of Guam. The MRFC's role is to detect, prevent, investigate, and respond to criminal and terrorist activity, and to disseminate criminal intelligence and facilitate communications between federal, state, and local agencies, private sector, and community partners to help them take action on threats and public safety issues, according to its website. Leon Guerrero is a former U.S. Marshal and the former Chief Marshal of the Judiciary of Guam. He was appointed deputy at Rev and Tax in December following a failed run for senator. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Bun, mayo, chicken pickle, bun.
Bun, pickle,
Blasphemy!
No bun.
The Naked Chicken Chalupa, only at Taco Bell.
Summer is here, and at Cars Plus, we have the perfect Jeep for your summer adventures. Whether you're going off-road or just getting ready to hit the beach down south, make this the summer event you find your Jeep. Like the 2021 Jeep Wrangler or the 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Equipped with Guam's only lifetime powertrain warranty. Call us at 477-7807 or visit our website at carsplusguam.com to schedule a test drive today. Cars Plus, driven by you.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. A recent investigation by the U.S. Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division found UMS Heavy Equipment in Chalampago failed to pay dump truck drivers and operators of other heavy equipment legally, required overtime when they worked more than 40 hours in a work week. The division also determined the company failed to pay operators for time they spent working before and after their scheduled shifts. UMS paid more than $17,000 in back wages for 20 employees, as well as $7,200 in civil penalties. The company has since changed its pay practices and signed a written compliance action plan assuring future compliance with labor laws. A proposal to build a new prison to replace the long deteriorating facility in Manilao was discussed at a public hearing today. A bill by Senator Joe San Agustin would authorize up to $200 million for the construction of a high-rise, high-tech penitentiary. It calls for a 30-year lease-back deal that would be paid by up to $5 million from earned income tax reimbursement and up to another $5 million from the general fund. Prison spokesman Major Anton Uggan says they're taking a very long-range view.
So we can map out the land so we know where the next building goes and how it's going to connect with the previous building. Because as of you know now, we've expanded this prison over 30 years right now, but we had no plan on how to do it. We just put a building, not really connecting it with all the resources it's needing. And so now we're left with our current footprint of 18 different housing units spread out throughout the whole compound.
There are currently 18 housing units holding some 560 prisoners. Uggan says that requires more than 30 corrections personnel per shift. The facility they're planning will use technology to greatly reduce the number of officers needed.
It's estimated right now that I would only probably need 20 to 25 officers per shift to run this amount of prisoners. Again, being in mind that the buildings are equipped with cameras and the right technology to assist us.
The Corrections Department has historically faced severe manpower shortages. He says ideally they should have 350 officers, but currently they only have 188. Before World War II, Sumai was one of Guam's most prosperous and thriving villages, but was sadly destroyed following the war. As part of the annual Liberation Day commemorations, this morning a memorial ceremony was held at the Sumai Cemetery in U.S. Naval Base Guam.
It was the first village bombed during the Japanese occupation in World War II, which forced many residents, breaking numerous families apart, to relocate nearby into small ranches in jungles. Despite the wet weather, war survivors, veterans, island dignitaries, among others, gathered to lay wreaths alongside some headstones in the cemetery to remember those who survived and sacrificed their lives more than 7 decades ago. In attendance was Governor Lulian Guerrero, who said in her remarks that the people of Guam have become a very strong, resilient, loving, and forgiving community as a result of World War II.
On this occasion also, I would like to recognize and say that we as an island are grateful to the military forces that they themselves also have died for our people. They have sacrificed their lives, left their families for the purpose of protecting democracy, freedom, and peace. And I can only imagine the joy and the happiness and the relief of our people when they heard that the Americans are on our shores, when they heard that they have come to liberate us from the Japanese occupation.
A Liberation Day ceremony is scheduled at 9 a.m. Wednesday, as tomorrow marks the 77th anniversary of Guam being liberated from Japanese forces during World War II. The community is invited to watch the commemoration live on the governor's Facebook page. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Wahusi Isaiah Uggan.
Accused murderer Joyner Sked was appointed new counsel after attorney Jay Areola requested to withdraw due to conflict of interest. At least 5 other attorneys assigned to her case have withdrawn thus far. The court allowed the motion and appointed attorney Douglas Moylan as the new counsel. Sked and co-defendant Rudy Kanata are accused of the brutal beating death of former Umatic Mayor Daniel Sanchez. Sanchez was found bludgeoned and stabbed to death at Kanata's home. Both face charges of murder as a first-degree felony and aggravated assault as a second-degree felony. The AG's office has moved to sever the cases. The court will address the motion at the next hearing on Thursday, July 22nd. A hearing was held for accused murderer Matthew Manibusan following the filing of several motions to include a motion to dismiss. Manibusan was indicted for the April deadly shooting of Joshua Meno, whose body was found along Swamp Road in Dededo. A hearing is set for Tuesday, August 3rd for any arguments on the outstanding motions. Coming up, sports with Dave Delgado. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your 4th meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
KUAM News, in partnership with the Guam Visitors Bureau, brings you the Guam Safe and WTTC Safe Travel Certified Program Showcase. Look out for this powerful symbol for visitors, island residents, and industry workers alike, as it represents establishments with a consistent global commitment to safety practices. Stamped with approval by the Guam Visitors Bureau and the World Travel Tourism Council. Every Monday on KUAM News will feature a different local business who's taken the Safe Guam and Safe Travels pledge to maintain health and safety standards to get Guam back on track. Log on to visitguam.com to see how your business can receive the designation, what businesses in our community are Guam Safe certified, and have the WTTC Safe Travel certified.
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich. You'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
UAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We get the show started tonight with a look at our track and field athlete representing Guam at this year's Olympic Games. Check it out. Regine Tagadi Watson is Guam's lone track and field athlete heading to the Olympic Games. Regine will take to the starting blocks in the 100-meter race, making her second Olympic Games appearance for Team Guam.
I'm ecstatic, honestly. I'm super excited, and I'm super blessed and super honored to be chosen to compete in track and field once again for our island. Nothing brings me more joy than to, wear Guam across my chest and to know that, hey, I've trained so hard for so long for this moment, and it makes it even better that I get to be home for a little bit for that. I have all the resources I have at home, just the support all around has been huge. Very thankful for everything and very excited and happy with the way things turned out.
Tagadi Watson Graduated from the United States Naval Academy in 2020. She had to get creative with her workouts on the ship, working hard to get where she is now. GTFA President Derek Mendel says Regine has been the standard bearer of excellence for track and field on Guam in recent years.
Creativity was the name of the game for many reasons, one of it being COVID. We had to find out how to get the work in and how to put in the work with the limited resources we have. And then other than that, other than COVID being an issue or a restricting factor, working out on a ship too. I'm very thankful that my coach, he's my husband and he's also in the Navy, he's very aware with the resources we have. So, I had a full gym and I was very fortunate to have that. Lifting, that's fine. Strength workouts, plyos, that was normal on the ship actually.
Regine holds personal bests of 11.92 seconds in the 100 meters, 24.70 seconds in the 200 meters, and 57.89 seconds in the 400 meters.
I will run faster than the last time I competed at the Olympics. My goal specifically would just to be run fast, run anywhere between low 12s and sub 12. If I can run a sub 12, I will be ecstatic. I would be more than happy with that.
She says she's not bothered by all the restrictions put in place at the games. It's all business when she touches down in Japan and represents for Team Guam.
I'm here to run. I'm here to run fast. That's all I care about. In Tokyo, we're restricted from going from Olympic Village to our training venue and back, and then to our competition and straight back to the village. I can come back to Japan whenever I want to. I'm not worried one bit to not have that Olympic experience. I'm there to compete, and I'm all business here.
Tagati Watson is extremely thankful for the help the GNOC has given her. Without their guidance and constant communication, things would have been a lot difficult.
I was in a very, very unique and difficult situation. It was very challenging to work out the logistics, but I could not be more thankful for the support that they had for me and for, not only nominating me and accepting my nomination and letting me go, and giving me this opportunity, but working with me to allow me to get home, and get to the Olympics. They've done so much, and I couldn't be more thankful for that.
American Ninja Warrior competitor Darren Perez will be hosting a watch party at the venue tonight beginning at 7 p.m. The meet and greet will be used to help promote this sport on island. You can catch American Ninja Warrior tonight on KUAM TV 8 at 7 p.m.
If you have any questions or if you're curious about the sport, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions, to kind of show you some of the things that I do as far as training. And, I really want to bring this sport here back home to Guam. Ninja Warrior is definitely a multi-sport athletic competition. A lot of people here on island, we got basketball players, volleyball players, football players. They're all doing, multiple sports. And Ninja Warrior is kind of the same thing, where you need a lot of background from different athletic sports. And I believe that we have a lot of talent that has been untapped here on island, and I definitely want to tap into that and bring out the best, in all of our athletes.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Half a day.
Hi.
That will be $20, please.
I forgot my Mobile Smiles Driver's Rewards card.
No worries. You can now use your registered mobile number to earn points.
Can I use my mobile number to redeem rewards?
Sure. Just show us your photo ID or driver's license.
That's easy.
Man, Pizza Hut packs so much meat in their Meat Lovers Pizza. 6 meats, over a pound of meat and cheese. This thing's a monster. Grab a Meat Lovers Pizza before it's gone. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
All right, everybody. Happy birthday on this 20th of July, the day before Liberation Day, to Aimee Matinonia Dunca. Wishing a very special happy birthday all the way in Foley, Alabama, to my niece, Aimee. Your family says we love and